Hey guys, it's Jess with Jess Makes a Mess, and as you can see, I'm in my messy room. Now today I came up with this idea that I really wanted to make a knitted wreath, and I love my knitting machine, which is this doohickey right here. It knits very quickly. It turns into like a tube. I was thinking if I made a long tube, I could use that tube to zip tie to a wreath ring, and then ta-da, I have a knitted wreath. Now, normally when I make things and turn it into a video, I will take an original idea, I'll make a sample, I'll turn around, and I'll make a second one as I'm filming a video. I'm really impatient today, so I'm just taking you on the ride with me while I create the first version. Welcome. It gets crazy sometimes. So I hope that you learned something from this video, whether it turns into a good thing or not, I don't know. But we'll see what we end up with. See ya. So here's a stash that I found. I have this 18-inch wreath ring, and when that is labeled as 18 inches, they mean diameter, which is this side to this side is 18 inches. We are actually going to be figuring out the circumference of this, which is all the way around, because our tube is going to go in that direction and we need to know how long. These are all like scrap or things that I haven't found a use for. I think I'm going to randomly stripe a tube and make it super long so that it's kind of cohesive throughout, and see where that takes us. Don't judge my machine, it's super dusty, but how satisfying is this? Guys, I'm mad. So I did 385 rows the hard way, and I ran out of space. I usually roll it into a donut as I'm making it, and I ran out of space under my machine to continue on, so I decided to pull it off and see how far it would go, because I knew it was at least long enough to go around. And this is what I have. Hold on. So, like I said, this is the messy room. Don't judge me. See how I got it to go all the way around? Yes, it is longer. Yes, I could bunch it. But I want this to be so much fuller than that. And I kind of spaced it out randomly, but see how it sort of works with the color changes? I decided to go with the single tube and see if I could make this work with just the one. So I ran a zip tie through all of the loose stitches of the final row when I cast off, and I zip tied it right to the main like cross spoke here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stuff this with the polyfill, and then I'm going to gather it all the way around, securing it as I go. So let's see if this works out. Okay guys, I think I figured it out. This is still a single tube. It is 385 rows long. That's how long I got before I ran out. You could go a little bit longer. I'm sure that would be fine. So I'm taking handfuls of polyfill and I'm sticking it here, and you'll see I rolled this into the donut so that I didn't have to shove my hand down the entire sock of this. So I'm shoving this in here, and I'm using zip ties. And if you look at the back side, see this crossbar that goes across? I am diagonally going through that, so I'm going up here and down here. So that way they're not like sliding up and down. So let me finish this and then I'll show you where I'm at. Not too shabby. I ended up ending pretty much with the exact amount of fabric left, like tubing left. So you'll see right here is where I started and where I ended. So the two cinched ends overlap here. Each and every single connection here goes through a cross brace diagonally, so it can't slide right or left, up or down. But I don't think that it's totally finished yet. I see that I have one that's slightly smaller than the rest, so that's probably where I'm gonna put like my decorations on it. But I want more puckers, so I think I'm gonna sew some buttons down. There we go. So I stitched buttons through. You can hardly see the back side. And I came back through and tied them and left them raw because I thought that that would give a cute little kind of detail. So now I gotta dress this up. And I'm actually thinking about tying a bunch of this jute cord in between here so that I have little frillies. So we'll see how that happens. I'm gonna look to see what I got for artificial flowers as well. I'm really liking this. So I've started tying on these little jute cords here. So I've cut them kind of like this, doubled upon themselves several times. So I have like 6 or 8 strands, and I'm tying them in between each of the bubbles. See the buttons? If you look, they are diagonal across the back the same way that we did the zip ties, and then I just trimmed them. And this is starting to look like a scarecrow, so I think that's the direction we're gonna go. I'm gonna finish all of these and see what it looks like. I like it. Now how am I gonna decorate it? I always have flowers kicking around, so I'm gonna start arranging them kinda on here, like evenly. Now this is my tiny little puff ball that was smaller than the rest by just a little bit. So I'm gonna kind of position some stuff, maybe like that. Oh, something like that. So what I'll do is I'll wire what I can wire, and I will glue what I have to glue. So we'll see how far this gets me.